So we don't know what just happened.
Where's your phone at?
It's in there.
Well, so apparently Brian was serious when he said my internet.
We don't know what happened.
Brian really can't shut down my internet. Now it's starting to freak me out.
Did he really do that?
No, he can't. But but thank you for coming back.
Thank you guys for coming back. We don't know. We don't know.
I have no clue what happened.
It just stopped.
This is a new phone, and so maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. But everyone's asking the question, why Portland? Why so far away? No audio for him.
What is the deal?
Wow. Maybe we should.
Can anybody else hear us?
Maybe we should have been iPhone people. I don't know. We're going to have to figure this out and come together with this later on, ain't we?
There you go, Brittany.
That is a new vacation spot.
Exactly.
For you. So moving for everyone who can hear us. All right, okay. Good. So for everyone, the questions are, one of the things we're going to do is first we're going to make sure we document everything. Like, so I went back to picking up my camera. And picking up the camera, that's something I haven't taken pictures in years. And now I'm interested in just kind of re-sparking that part of my life. So video is coming back. I'm going to start doing video and start doing photos again. That's something that's going to help keep my mind kind of occupied. Plus, it's always been like a tent making thing for me where I know I can make some money if I need to from it. But we need to make the announcement again as people are joining. So if you're just joining in, the thing we figured out that we gonna figure out is the fact that Brian, one, can disable your internet somehow magically from a distance, but two is that we figured out that we're moving to Portland, Oregon, and we're gonna do that soon. We're gonna be doing that, and we're gonna do that in the month of August, and one of the reasons being is because the kids. School starts. And so for like our oldest son, we really kind of thought about how much hard work he's put into he has a vision of making it to college, and that's been a vision he's had since he was really little, as he should. And he wanted to go through, he said, I'm gonna get in Carver, then I'm gonna go to Booker T, and then from there I'm gonna go to an Ivy League school. And that's been his plan since he was really little. And so I've always told him he can do it. I've also always told him I'm not paying for it. So he's going to have to work hard, and he does that. And he's working hard. And so us moving, one of the things, we really just wanted to backdoor. That's one of the reasons why we were trying to buy a house in this community, because we wanted to make sure that he would be able to fulfill that dream. And so it didn't work out that way. Nothing was working out. Yeah, so we've got to follow what God called us to do, and I think we're going to have some ups and downs that we'll share with you guys. And so I'm going to do some video blogs, or blog as people say, and I'm going to post those to YouTube and obviously share the links here. And I started that process last week, kind of just carrying my camera around and documenting things. And if you live here in Tulsa, there's a whole lot of different things that took place Friday that I was in the middle of also. And so I kind of was able to document some of my feelings about that. Nothing, egregious, or just how I felt about it. And so when I post the back blogs, you'll see how this past week has just been hectic for us coming to that decision, and then having these, a separate set of events kind of take place. So it was the longest week of my life. Yeah. Like seriously, the longest week. Entered, like telling different people, telling your mother was hard. Was one of the hardest things for you to have to do. It was. I went into work and told them, and it was pretty hard. We told the church, and that was also a thing. So that was really hard too. Between you growing up here and then the amount of men that I get a chance to help disciple at the mission, there's a lot of people that I want to make sure that I get a chance to physically just touch, get my hands on, and talk to before we leave. And we'll never stop being in communication. So and for those who care to know, I am gonna start my Facebook back up. It's been 6 years since I've been on Facebook. I think I'm more mature now, and I can handle the social media addiction that I had. I mean, seriously. It was bad. It was really bad. I came home and the TV was gone one day. Shut up. So it's kind of, that's kind of the big thing, but we're going to follow God.
Exactly right.
We don't really have, like, the big question everyone's asking us are things like, so what are you going to go there and do? You know, like, what kind of job will you have? You got a job waiting on you? Do you have any money? Do you just getting in our business, which is okay. We expect people that love us to ask us those questions. And we are truly following God. It's a faith walk. He's opened up some doors to where we'll eat, we'll be good.
Yeah.
The cost of living there is crazy.
Stupid high.
And
Like,
so for us, get the scripture for us. So for us, God really showed me a scripture a few weeks ago. And that's what really kind of started stirring up for us, that it kind of made us, I post a scripture of the week every week in the house. And for the past 3 weeks, it's just sat there. Like, I've not been able to move to the next scripture.
Right.
And we've stuck with this one being, it's Isaiah, not Jeremiah. I know you knew that, but I just...
Yeah.
So, I think that was the big thing, is standing on that scripture. And so, she's going to read that scripture for you so you can kind of see. And it's 18 through what?
21.
Through 21.
Isaiah 43, 18 through 21. And it says, "Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. The wild animals honor me, the jackals and the owls, because I provide water in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland, to give drink to my people, my chosen, the people I formed for myself, that they may proclaim my praise." So
I think the part that stood out for me is, like, thinking about going to Portland, it became a desert. Like, for me, looking at the cost of living and looking at how much, like, it was a panic as a provider, as a man. As a provider, I just kind of was like, okay, the cost of living is so much higher. Maybe this is just, this isn't meant to be. Because all of a sudden, when you start thinking about how much money we do have in comparison to how much it costs to live there, it seems like a desert. And it seemed, like it would be just dry resources for us.
yeah,
And he just reassured me and said, "I'll bring water to the desert. How are we going to get there? I'll make a way, I'll make a way in the wilderness."
yes,
This is a wild idea to think that we could just up and say we're moving by August. You know what I'm saying? It's June, and we're saying we're going to be gone by August. And
but that's what he told us.
And that's a hard thing to come to terms with, because most people, as an adult, you want to feel like you're saying all the right things. At least I do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I want to say what's responsible as a leader. And I don't want to do, but I believe as a leader, this is one of the best things we can do.
Yeah.
As leaders, is we can say, you got to just follow God.
That's right. And I've received some pushback, but I think the blessing in that is just allowing people to see God, do this miracle. I mean, this is truly just his hand at work. This is just us truly obeying him and doing exactly what he said to do. It's kind of like Abraham, really.
Yeah.
Like, he told Abraham to go, and he didn't tell him where he was going or what to do next. It's like you have to take that first step, and then he continues to show you the way. So that's what we're doing. So every little step of obedience that we take, he's giving us a little more,
Yeah,
a little more.
Even like with the small, like with our finances, we were expecting something, and we were supposed to get it in like 3-4 more days.
Mm-hmm.
And then we knew once we got it, we would have to hold. It would be a hold, and we would wait.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting it 3 days early, and then on top of
There's
getting
no
it 3 days
hold or
early, they
anything.
said no hold. And so, like, those little bitty things, we just see God's handprint on a lot of different things. And
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a lot of people, like, really where I felt as though I would be abandoning some things. I had a lot of people affirm and, like, just tell me it's your time.
Yeah.
And that you've done enough and you've helped lay enough foundation to where it's okay. Because, like, what I do for a living, it's a big thing that I wanted to be a part of the process and make sure that I help the culture change at the mission and help do that. And I feel good walking away knowing that I have played a part in that.
Right.
Same thing with our church family, like knowing that the 7 years out of 10 years of the church's existence, we've been there.
Yeah.
And seeing how it stayed true to its original. Us leaving helps the church stay true to its original mission. And the mission statement of it being a place where you can come, grow, and then go.
Yes.
And make disciples.
That's
and
right.
so it helps us stay true. It helps, the church in general stay true to what it is. So many different parts of us making this transition make sense.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of me potentially going back to school is a big deal for me. And so I think that that's one of the big things that I see on the table. And that's going to be a fun thing to be able to kind of get those dreams out.
Right.
And so I'm interested in definitely seeing where it takes us and documenting the journey.
Yeah, I'm excited to document the journey. I think that'll be fun.
So that's what we done figured out on We Gon' Figure It Out.
I mean, so you guys have seen the process. I don't know if you remember, like we did a show a couple weeks ago where I was like, I just don't feel like, I feel like something's coming. I feel like something's going on. And I remember like one of the commenters, which I think it was Miss Cheryl, she was saying that means something big is coming. And lo and behold, here we are. So
our son asked me a question that I would love to say as a parent. I initially responded the way I should. Like, I didn't respond as Jesus-y. Like, I didn't go off or anything. But he asked me a question, and then God really showed me that he asked a great question. Because we were feeling feelings of discontent, my son really said, okay, now, is this you trying to get out of apathy, or is this really a faith walk?
yeah.
And I initially wanted to be almost offended to some degree, right? But I couldn't, because it was like, that's a good question. And as I really reviewed the answer and everything, I remember I had to go back to him and just apologize because I initially defended myself and really didn't need defending.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things where I had to show him that, it doesn't make sense, but it is a faith move. And and I had to also break down the difference between, we weren't in an apathetic state. Like, we weren't in a bad situation and we were just okay with a bad situation.
Right.
We love our jobs, never will stop loving them.
Yeah.
Loved going in there, knew something new needed to come.
Yeah.
And so we're not running from like, oh, Tulsa's just a bad place.
No, absolutely not.
I love the work that the Tulsa community does to stay a positive community. Even in the face of adversity, Tulsa still rises above. And I'm proud to say that I've spent the last 15, almost 16 years here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very proud to say that, or 15 years, I should say. So, I love this community. You grew up here.
Yeah.
And we're not running from it. We're not doing the typical, it's just time to get out of here and grow.
No, I mean,
we love this community.
We're stable here. So this is totally God's plan. And so, we're excited.
So be looking out for next week's edition of We Gon' Figure It
Tell
Out.
them hi, Brittany.
Oh, hey.
She said her dad says hi.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna call. I meant to call him before I actually did this.
Ooh.
He was on my list.
Bad. Shame.
I'm gonna call him here in a minute though. All right, but yeah. So it's gonna be an interesting journey, and be looking out for new shows and we'll still do content. We're not just gonna sit there and bore you guys every week with moving update. I mean, we'll just give you moving updates, but we'll still have show topics. Any show topic you want to have. Real quick before we get out of here, do you think this ends the NBA season tonight and Golden State is going to be crowned champions?
Oh my God. I don't want to say that.
You don't want to say that?
No.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't like you for saying it.
So
yeah,
I'm
KD
just gonna
might get MVP of the finals.
I'm just gonna say no.
All right.
But yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we done figured it out for the day. We love you guys. Thank you.